That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Ryan O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome to the Hangin With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter.
I'm Christian Basel.
And we are on the floor of MegaCon 2018 in Orlando, Florida. We hope you will go ahead and subscribe because we have got artists, authors, filmmakers, musicians, like the homeless guy that Christian found outside. I don't know where he got him from.
We're not going there, and he wasn't homeless.
Well, not anymore.
I didn't know he was a cosplayer too, sorry.
See, we are having a great time at MegaCon this year. We are here right now hanging with the cosplay queen, world famous YaYa Han. YaYa, thank you so much for hanging with us. We really appreciate it. By the way, first of all, amazing.
Oh, thanks.
As always.
This is my fun little black cat diva from Overwatch.
That's awesome.
Getting all the hype train.
What did you expect? We have YaYa Han. That's what she's going to look like. Are you kidding? Really? YaYa, how long? Wow, you are an icon in the cosplay community.
Thank you.
And the only reason I know that is because I have a mini cosplayer.
Do you?
I have. We have Cosplay Michael, little tiny guy, and in fact, he is going to kick me squarely somewhere when he sees me because I did tell him you were coming over, and he was like, see. So, how long have you been cosplaying?
Well, I like to say that I discovered cosplay 18 years ago because even though I've been cosplaying for that long, it has changed a lot and evolved a lot. And I just felt very lucky that I found it, sooner than a lot of other people, so I had more time to hone my skills.
I was going to say, it's not entirely luck. We've seen the level of skill that you bring to what you do.
For sure. I love the, craftsmanship aspect, the creativity aspect, and I also love the fact that cosplay is a way to be active in the fandom. You can, combine creativity with your expression for a character that you love, or series that you love, and it's very unique in that sense, I think.
As you've grown in your cosplay career,
yes,
and really transitioned from the cosplayer that we all see, the cosplayers and how wonderful they are, and the work that goes into it. As you've transitioned in your career, what was that moment in your career when you said, "Wow, I love what I do. I didn't know that it was going to bring me here." What was that moment for you?
I think that's when I began traveling overseas for cosplay. I grew up in Germany during my teens, early teens, but to actually be invited to a convention in Germany and come back, as a cosplayer and contribute to the programming, and also bringing my family that still lives in Germany and showing them what it's like what my work is and what my passion is. That was sort of the moment where I thought, oh my goodness, not only did it, is it something I love to do, that is my life's passion, but it's also my career, it's my income, and now it's bringing me closer to my family, who lives very far away, and I can see them more because of conventions.
Now, what was that one moment, that one defining moment that says, this is going to be my life's work? What was the moment that said, I got to do this?
That came probably back in 2010, 2011, when I realized how that, actually I'll tell you when, it was when I had to move all the operations of the creation of the products that I have, I have cosplay products, such as the ears that I'm wearing, and I had to move it from my house into a warehouse. So we had to actually expand, start renting a warehouse.
That's a moment, by the way, that says, yes, I've made it.
It was a lot of responsibility. It was really scary.
It's not an addiction when it's a job.
It's, it's like, this is now we're hiring employees,
that's fantastic.
Expanding, and it's becoming a real business.
As now you get to whether it be virtually or through your participation in conventions and things like that. As I said, you know, you have been a mentor to many cosplayers that are coming up.
Very blessed.
What would your advice to a young person wanting to get involved in cosplay in the community? What would your advice to them be?
Well, right now, cosplay is bigger than ever. It is easier than ever to get started cosplaying because you have so many choices, you know, whereas 10 years ago, there were a lot of materials that were not available, wigs that were not available. Now you can get to all of that very easily. However, I think because there are so many choices and because cosplay is so popular, it can be really overwhelming and kind of almost like you can see the forest for how many trees there are.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of younger cosplayers that just don't even know where to get started because they don't know what aptitude they have or what they're going to resonate with. So my suggestion is to really find a character that you really love, that you connect with, and use that character sort of as your guide, your beacon, to do whatever it takes to learn the skills to create that costume. And I think that is the key. Is like you can take advantages of all the resources, you know, all the tutorials that are available on YouTube, all of the crafting books, how-to books.
There's so much information now that's available to learn one's craft.
Exactly.
We try to tell everybody cosplay, as much as when you see it online or you see it on television in its multiple iterations, you don't quite realize this is an art form.
It is an art form.
And
genuinely.
Learning to appreciate and hone your craft and gain a level of mastery of your skills. Is a process.
It's a process, but it's a journey. Like I want people to enjoy the journey and not only look at the finished, you know, that finished moment, which is also very hugely enjoyable. But if you enjoy the journey and the experimentation and even the moments of frustration that
what
you'll
is
run
your
into.
favorite part of creating a cosplay?
Oh, for me, it's the holing away in my craft room. You know, it's like the wearing of costumes is really fun, taking photos and everything, but it's the making of the costumes.
Getting into the nitty-gritty, sewing and gluing and
for sure.
a lot of stuff that goes into it. I only know that because I didn't want any of those skills.
Yeah, if I could expand on what you were saying, because you were talking about the journey, but a lot of people, especially friends of mine who are trying to start out, in their heads, especially when it comes to body shaming and bullying, they don't want to get started. They don't think they're good enough. What would you say to them? What would be the message to them from you, who's been through the journey, to say how can you get over that hurdle to get started so that they can show and display their passion?
For sure. It is like cosplay is a visual art form, and you're the display. It's like it's not that you're an author, so you know people are reading the books and whether they like it or not, like they're looking at you. You are the product. You're the finished, you know, piece of art basically. So it's very natural that negativity comes with it, judgment, bullying, all of that. And I would tell people, realize that everybody receives those comments, even those of us who are considered at the top, who are considered professional cosplayers, we still receive judgment. It is a nature that, you know, it's a nature of the game.
People see what you do and if they don't understand it, or if they're not, if that's not their interpretation, all of a sudden you're wrong.
Exactly.
And so, you know, it's good for particularly, you know, if Christian were looking for something to cosplay, just express yourself.
Exactly. You should cosplay whoever he wants to. The key factor here is that you should cosplay for yourself and know that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and you have to make sure that you love doing it. So enjoy the journey, don't listen to what people think, and just know that this is your expression. And
that is the best advice for any creative artist out there.
Really,
express yourself and be true to that expression.
And stand your ground. It's your art.
That's right.
There's going to be haters. There's going to be critics. You just going to have to take it and throw it out there.
You do.
And then do it.
You develop dinosaur skin at some point.
It's really hard to put your face and your name on something and put it out there. And the fact that someone can do that, you're already ahead of the game.
It's brave. It's something that not every person can do. So that's what's special about cosplay, is that, you know, it takes a certain tenacity to do this.
It really does. It really does. It's really great. What is the most difficult and challenging cosplay that you've ever worked on?
I've worked on a lot of difficult costumes.
We've seen some of the elaborate cosplays that you've done. So
I think it's the logistically challenging costumes that really they're frustrating. I made a costume that was based on stilts. So my first time creating a costume around stilts from the video game Lineage 2. And it was a big dress with big wings. Like everything was big. So the wig was really big, the headpiece was big, she had horns, she had a skeleton.
She's like
hanging off.
5'2". Everything is big.
I know, in essence, I needed stilts so that would balance out the proportions so I would, kind of resemble a character. And it was awesome to be tall for once, but to make a costume and
that's why I got these chairs, because it's the only way that I could come up here. Yeah.
But you have to think about the fact that if you want to try something on, you have to put the stilts on to try it on. So 3 in the morning, I'm like dead tired. I'm like, all right, let me put the stilts on. I hope I don't just fall over and die in the middle of the night or something.
Do you have a favorite of all the cosplays that you've done?
What's your
you
best?
got a favorite cosplay, something you just love doing?
Oh God, I can't name one favorite because they're like my children, and it would be like having to choose your favorite
closet
child.
full of children. You're
Yeah,
like this
I mean,
one, this
they're
one.
very
Really,
sentimental.
and everyone has a story, I believe.
Of course,
probably.
everyone has memories and stories and experiences attached to it. I love them for different reasons.
Have you seen a favorite cosplay this weekend that was here? Anybody stand out in your mind?
Multiple. Because who am I to say this was my favorite, that was the best? There have been a lot of talented
Well, we're going to tell you, just in case you didn't know,
sure.
you're YaYa Han.
No.
We know it, and they know it, and we're so happy that you can come and hang with us. Really.
Thank you.
And it really is terrific.
Great.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Do you have a cosplay that's not in the closet yet that you're planning?
Of course, I have several that are always in the plans. I'm currently working on Midnight from My Hero Academia, which is an anime that I'm really obsessed with right now, and it's like I always have something that I'm working on.
Just always working.
That's sort of like the cosplay lifestyle. Like it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Because it never stops.
And it's never done. It's never done because we know, we know that you've done cosplays that were just photo accurate, and then you've done cosplays that you've worked with artistically. So they're never done. They're just always in progress.
Yeah. I've made close to 380 costumes, and there's like no end in sight. It's like
380, and there's more on the books.
Of course, always.
Wow, that's amazing. Where are you heading from MegaCon? Where are you going to be next? Where can people find you up the road?
I have 2 conventions coming up back-to-back after MegaCon. I'm going to DreamHack Austin, and I'll be judging their big cosplay championship.
Wow.
And after that, I'm doing San Francisco Comic-Con.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of all over the place.
You got a busy summer plan.
Always. I go to 20 cons a year.
20 cons
worldwide.
a year. We just had a gentleman sitting here, an artist, and this year,
40 something.
43 conventions.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't.
Yeah.
The math on that.
It's an interesting modern nomadic lifestyle because you see the same people, but in different parts of the world every week.
This is the best traveling tribe you can join, by the way. It really is. We've had a ball being here. That's my shut up card. She does it all the time. Before we go, Christian, thank some folks. Let them know who we are.
Well, all right, it's time to wrap up things over here. We want to give a big shout out to Summon Unique. I keep on getting it wrong.
Something Unique.
Summon Unique magazine, Famous Faces and Funnies, Krypton Radio, Off the Chain with author Yvonne Mason. We want to thank everybody who's listening on iHeartRadio, Space Coast Comics, Jake and David, and Asylum Convention and Entertainment Services. So
we want to make sure we thank Fan Expo for having us come down here on the floor of MegaCon this year.
Hoping
this
to
has been
see
a
us
blast.
in next year's over and over.
We want to thank YaYa for coming over and hanging with us. I know you've been talking to people over there, been staying busy this weekend. We're happy that you gave us a few minutes. And guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, subscribe. Please come back over and over again. Check out artists, authors, filmmakers, musicians, creators of all kinds. Log on, tune in, see who we're hanging with next. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome.